Hey, this is Todd Evangelist. Thanks for checking in on our episode number 5, I think it is, for our distance learning through our Strong Workforce program for middle school students. This particular episode, the theme is employability skills. So just got done recording the one for the students. And so let me go behind the scenes a little bit for you and show you a little bit about what we were trying to do and goals and accomplishment for each of them. By the way, just to remind you, this is all coming to you from Building a Bridge for Your Future. That curriculum that Strong Workforce has purchased and resourced for all the middle school students here in Imperial County. And there's an instructor's guide as well. If you don't have those, feel free to get a hold of me. You can email me back through the email that I had sent you, or at the end, there's some contact information for me. We really want to make sure that you have all the resources that you need for this distance learning whenever you find this video. Okay, so real quick, what I'm going to do is I'm going to send you, I'm going to show you the PowerPoint that we use for the students. And there's a link in there that is attached to a Google, that goes to it's a bit.ly link that goes to a Google document that we have shared on our shared Google Drive for Imperial County, Building a Bridge to Your Future teachers and Strong Workforce teachers. So you have access to it, but let me show you where it's at. Real quick, let me show you the PowerPoint that we used today for the students in this lesson. All right, let me pull it up real quick. Okay, as you know, Strong Workforce, middle school stuff. Dang it, I was at the end of my presentation. So this will be slide number 1, slide number 2. This is just to let you know where we're at in this particular book. We're in chapter 10, Employability Skills. Now, your students may or may not have this book with them when they find themselves watching this video or the video for the students. That doesn't matter. This link here that we're going to give here shortly will provide all the stuff that they need. But just to let you know, this comes from pages 139 through 141 in chapter 10. Here's some goals that we would have for this particular lesson. First of all, we'd want them to know examples and be able to state examples of employability skills. We'll talk about this later. Sometimes you might call that, other people call it soft skills. We want the student to be able to list their top 5 that they think of, the top employability skills that they think they possess already. And then be able to list 5 that they want to improve upon, or employability skills that they want to gain. And it's a good exercise for students. I did a quick definition of what the difference is between a hard skill and a soft skill. Soft skills, employability skills, we're using those terms interchangeably. So you may want to mention that to students when they hear something about a soft skill. In this context, we're talking about an employability skill. So this, I think, graph that we found, or infographic that we found, does a really good job of explaining to a student the difference between what hard skills are, stuff like learning a foreign language, degrees, certificates, being able to operate machinery. All those things are hard skills that somebody would possess, versus the soft skills, being able to be a good communicator, flexibility, leadership, all those things, time management. Amen to that for students. Next thing would be, here's the link that we have for students to click on. Now, they can click on it themselves. You may want to send it to them ahead of time. You can download this as a Word document, I guess you could, because you want it to be editable. You want it to be, the students be able to fill it out. So you could send it to them as a Word document, or send them as a link to a Google document. However you want to supply that and get that to your students, that's a link for where it's at. That link, by the way, also happens to be within the context of that shared Google folder that we have here in Imperial County. It's a bit.ly link that you may have seen before, and we'll go and chat with you about what that is. But all that is within, this is chapter 10, so it's going to be within the chapter 10 folder in that shared Google Drive. But there's a direct link to the lesson we're talking about here within that chapter. All right, so what I did is let me stop sharing that particular screen and go to the actual document that we shared them. So if you click on that link, it'll take you to this this document, this Google document that we had created. And by the way, we just got done having a phone call, a Zoom meeting with Imperial County teachers who are teaching building a bridge to your future countywide. One of the things that they were saying, especially down in the stay-home world that we live in distance learning, not all the students had this, and so teachers were, scanning it and sending it to them. And so I think what we want to try and do on our end for more distance learning videos that we produce, we're going to try and do that for you and send it along as an attachment or a link within the PowerPoints or the information that we send you. So I'm glad we got that information from you guys earlier today. I forget who mentioned it. Okay, this is just 4 pages. The first page it comes right out of page 139 and 130, 140, I'm assuming. It's just a list of employability skills. This also is in the instructor guide. The reason I used the instructor guide for this particular one is because it had the definitions. So if you follow the lesson in the book, they have a context where students would be able to match the skill with the definition. And you can do that if you want, but in a remote learning environment or distance learning, it's a little bit hard because it requires some group work. So I just listed, I went in there and typed, and combined those lists and listed them together. I thought that would work best in this context. So here's a list of all of the employability skills. There's probably about 40 or 50 of them. It's not an exhaustive list, but it's a good, healthy list for students to be able to use. And we want them to just be thinking about that. And in fact, I told them to read it a couple times and maybe highlight ones that pop out to them for whatever reason, good or bad. And this is essentially the assignment then. For this next page, page 3, is assessing the employability skills that you have. So in this one, we have a table here that we want them to fill out the top 5 employability skills that they believe they possess already. So we want them to write in the skill right here. For example, you could type in leadership if you think you are a good leader. And then we want them to give an example of how they use that skill. So the example would be leadership, and then I represented the 7th grade students on the Corfin Middle School Student Council, if there is such a thing. Another one would be teamwork. You could write teamwork in that column, and then over in the next column put, I played on the Barbara Worth Junior High volleyball team for 2 years, and that verifies my teamwork employability skill. So good for them. So we assume that most students would be able to come up with 5 that they identify with the most. And then the other good work that we like to do here is planning for the employability skills that you need or that you want to have. So same thing, but just now looking at skills that they don't think they're as strong in, but they want. And so we're going to list them, and they can list them down right here in their employability skill. But then the next one is plan for developing this skill. And I think this is going to be interesting. We'll see how students are able to think ahead like this. One would be networking. I want to be a journalist or writer, so I'm going to email or direct message my favorite author or journalist just to try and get those people to be connected to, if networking is a goal. Another one, flexibility. I'm going to pick a club at school that I'm not familiar with and join it for a whole year just to make sure that I'm practicing the trait of being able to be flexible. So as you can see, those are, that's essentially the exercise. And so they can turn that back into you or however you want to collect it. We think it would be a good exercise, and that would be coming out of chapter 10 from the Building a Bridge to Your Future curriculum. All right. Hey, I really appreciate you guys using these videos. And if you ever want to give us some suggestions or some points, we had some great discussions today in a meeting with some of you about resources that you'd like, career speakers, and be able to create a kind of a catalog or a library of digital career speaker videos, and then having a bit of a library of a phone list of career speakers that could be on call for middle schools, where we're going to be starting to work on that and pushing that out to you guys as soon as we can. Hey, I really appreciate all that you do for young people here in Imperial County. If you need anything, give me a call. We're just an email or a phone call away. Thanks a lot. Bye-bye.